Are you willing to ask the White House to authorize the FBI to investigate the claims that have been made against you?
Why aren't you also asking the FBI to investigate these claims?
If there is no truth to her charges, the FBI investigation will show that. Are you afraid that they might not?
Why not agree to a 1-week pause to allow the FBI to investigate all these allegations?
Now, given all that, they were perfectly orchestrated. The Republicans don't do the same kind of job as the Democrats do. Consistent refrain. Should we be really all that surprised about today's developments? The question is, what exactly can the FBI accomplish in just a week's time? For answers to that, we turn to the pros, two of them. Danny Coulson, the former Deputy Assistant FBI Director, and John Iannarelli, former National Spokesperson for the FBI. Danny, let's start with you. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what this means. Of course, we hear that credible allegations, current credible allegations, will be part of this new background investigation. Tell me what you expect to be accomplished.
Well, first of all, it's going to take the emotion out of this thing. We saw this circus atmosphere for the last several weeks. The FBI is going to do a dispassionate, black and white, this is what we know, this is what we've seen, investigation that would be done timely. Remember, this is an organization that solved the Oklahoma bombing in a day and a half. This is a background investigation. The director of the FBI has all kinds of resources he can pour into this thing. It'll be the highest priority thing they're doing probably right now. And they're going to find out what happened. And I'm not so sure that all the parties are going to like the results of that investigation. I think that remains to be seen how it's viewed once it comes in.
John, the LA Times had a piece that they put up this afternoon. The title was this: former FBI agents say there are clues to follow from dramatic Kavanaugh hearing. And this is the graph I pulled. There is plenty of lead value in the testimony that was provided during the confirmation hearing, and there are plenty of living witnesses that can be identified, contacted, and interviewed, said James McJunkin, a former top FBI official. They can do this very quickly. John.
The FBI can do this very quickly. It's what the FBI does. It's what the FBI is good at. Sure, there's tons of leads. There's people you can talk to. But just because there's leads doesn't mean there's going to be evidence that something's going to come back conclusively showing that someone engaged in some sort of behavior. The FBI, nevertheless, will go out, gather what facts are available, and bring them back so that the politicians can decide.
Danny, I'm going back to this language of current credible allegations, and what my mind is going to when I'm putting myself in the position of some of the twisted Democrats on that committee. Brett Kavanaugh, he drank too much. For instance, they think that's a credible allegation that he didn't refute. He claimed he didn't ever black out, but that's not really credible given how much alcohol was being drunk in college or high school, whatever. Now, is that the kind of thing that the FBI could possibly look into? You know, call other people that are listed in the yearbook entry, or they don't go to that granular level of detail?
They can, actually. When you do a background investigation, you talk to associates to see what kind of person this is. That's just routine, but there's forensic things they can do, too. Were I doing this case,
but he's already gone through those, Danny. He's had 6 background checks. You don't think they've talked to people in high school, college, law school, White House, et cetera?
They could. Yes, they could very well. But also there is evidence out there. Yes, but they're going to do it again. And I guarantee you they will do it again in order to put this thing to rest. They don't want to be criticized for not following up or doing the right type thing. That's one of the things they have to. This has to be very, very well done, very detailed. And I will tell you, I'd grab that calendar and have that calendar examined to show that it's credible or not. They can age date those things with the ink and the paper to see if it was written contemporaneous with what he said it was. That's very powerful evidence. His own calendar says a lot about where he was and where he was not. So there's all kinds of things like that can be done, and they will do it with a great deal of vigor. And they're going to come out with some answers here, and it may not support the allegations. I think it probably won't.
Gosh, I didn't think they'd be looking at the ink in the calendar. I thought they'd be doing a bunch of interviews and writing up 302s. But, Danny, you're giving me new things to think about tonight. I love it. All right, guys, thanks so much.